Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Lone Austin Breakfast Club. I'm your host, Frank Array, here with Gen Z, of course. Kristen Simpson has made it back from her Christmas hangover. Here. Carl White's in the house, of course. It's always good to have that guy floating around. You never know what you're going to hear. You never know what's going to come out of that fella's mouth. And in fact, he's got a big honking question for us all today. We're going to get to that pretty quick. We hope you all had a fabulous holiday. Put in the chat, did you get what you wanted? Did it fulfill all of your dreams? Christmas Day for you this year? Did you get that? Or how about this? Put in the chat something that you got or something that happened that you didn't expect that you thought was awesome. You know, something you didn't expect that you thought was awesome. I'd like to hear that. You get anything cool, Carl? Anything cool come your way?
I did.
Yeah?
Boy.
I did.
What is it?
I got, I got my Easy Bake Oven.
Right.
We already talked about that.
That was a big deal.
Yeah, it was a big deal. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so, you know how I always talk about, so growing up, we were really poor. You know, everybody, I've told this story 100 times. Well, not this story, but I've told that story. So at Christmas time, we were too poor to give gifts to family, you know, not immediate family, right? But like aunts and uncles and cousins and all that. We just didn't have it. And frankly, neither did they, right?
Right.
And so every holiday season, Christmas time, like a few days before Christmas, Mom would go to the grocery store and she'd buy a basket full of ingredients and would make literally probably about 15 fruit cakes, right? And it's a Southern thing. And, the rest of the world rolls their eyes about fruit cakes.
Right.
But here in the South, true Southerners, it's not something we roll our eyes at. And so I have just very fond memories of being, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 years old. And it was fruit cake time. And I got to help Mom make the fruit cakes. And I've told that story. I'm probably the only person that I know that enjoys fruit cake. And it's probably not so much the fruit cake as the very, very, very fond memory of helping my mother make those fruit cakes. And then we would go deliver them to the cousins and whatnot. And I'm not sure if she's here. So my dear friend Tara has heard me tell that fruit cake story. And I got a fruit cake from Tara. And,
Wow. No way.
And it was I'm going to say it was a pretty darn good one. So
Really?
So it's it's the small things in life, Frank. So it goes back to like when you give a gift, don't just I shouldn't say don't just. It has a more of an impact if it's something special. Like for Kristen, I don't know, something to do with the Eagles perhaps or something. I don't know. But
She's holding her mug.
Her Eagles mug, And so so I got a fruitcake. How about you, Frank?
I didn't expect this, and Brenda got it for us, right? But we like to go to Monterey. Carl, my goal is to move to Monterey in about 18 months, right?
Not your goal. That's what you're going to do.
We're going to move to Monterey. Yeah. We go there at least a couple times a year. We have our favorite hotel. We have our favorite room in our favorite hotel, and
it's the same room.
Same room
for both of you. Okay. Nice.
Fortunately, so far,
goes,
Carl,
my favorite room is where he's not. So
she has her favorite room, and I have my favorite room. Yeah. No, but she managed to get us a nice trip in May for our anniversary, and they were having a big deal special, man. So we got it at I'm not even kidding, at like a third of the price that it normally would have been. So I was like, dang, and I told her too. I said, man, I'm glad I didn't do that because I was literally thinking about doing that, Carl. Like I was literally thinking
then you would have
surprising her
2 trips to your favorite place. So
during the same time, then we could have had different rooms.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Good for you, man. Yeah, no. So that was a real fun one. I really dug that. Yeah. So
I've come to appreciate experiences more than things these days.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
In fact, my wife and I this year was kind of just like she got me like 2 things, I got her like 2 things, and we were good and we were done. It was like, thank goodness, we didn't have to worry about that or, like you said, Carl. At some point in time, you pretty much got. I mean, we don't really need stuff, So, but it is what it is. Yeah, fun stuff. Yeah. So before we get moving on, there's a couple of things. We do want to touch base on what's going on with marketing animals. However, before we get to that, we do have to highlight Kristen just to let her rub it in to any Bills fans out there, right? Just to rub it in a little bit. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I
Just
got this was in my stocking from my husband. So
okay. All
although
right.
yesterday I was sweating, that was an ugly win. Brian and I were just talking in the chat. That was an ugly win, but we'll take it.
I'm not a big football buffaroo, Carl. I like it, when I see it come on, especially like the Niners. If I happen to catch a 49er game, I will jump out of my chair and go, "Oh, come on!"
Yeah.
Things like that, But I don't really, pay close attention to it during the season. But I watched that 40. Well, I watched most of the 49er game. It started at like 5:30 p.m., which is danger territory for me in falling asleep, right?
Yeah,
And I
yeah.
did. I fell asleep before the end of the game, but boy, that was a nail biter and quite a game. So the Niners and the Eagles
Yeah.
roaring forward, yeah. So, all right. So Gen Z, what's happening at Animals, man? Let's get that going. And then Carl's got a huge question for you guys. Go ahead.
Sure, sure. So we've got dialed in today with Meg and Jen,
Mm-hmm.
and we're going to go over how to create your freedom and the freedom statement.
Hmm.
So that's like an
Mm.
exercise you usually do right when you join. So we're going to update those a little bit today.
Mm.
Very
Yeah,
powerful exercise. Very
it
powerful.
is. Yeah, that freedom planner is killer. It's
Mhm.
just killer. If you guys
Yep.
haven't seen that or want to see that, you'll just if you haven't seen it and you're a member, be on what is it? What is it? It's
Dialed in today
dialed in
at
with
3
Megan
p.m.
Jen. Yeah, today. Be on that and participate. But if you're not a member, you want to learn what that's all about. It is really killer. It's literally your freedom planner. Like it goes
Mhm.
into detail. Like how much do you need to retire? Let's start there. Okay. And let's go backwards and figure this whole thing out. So it's very, very cool. If you want to learn more, see it yourself, go to freedomplanningcall.com. We can throw that link in the chat, freedomplanningcall.com. So, Carl
The
White.
secret to life is reverse engineering, and that's exactly what the Freedom Planner does. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
In a very cool, well thought out, well laid out
Yeah.
way to make you go, okay, I
Mhm.
get it. I mean, it literally is going to come back to how many calls a day you need to make
Yeah.
to
That's pretty much.
hit your goal. I mean,
Pretty
that's
much.
pretty good.
And having the right team to handle the amount of leads. And so,
Yeah,
but you're right.
everything.
You're right. That's
Yeah.
what. All right.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
what I want to
So-
do today, I want to do
yeah.
a little exercise here today. I was pondering. This was this was I was sitting out by the bait shack the other day, and I was just pondering a question, and took my little clipboard out there and spent about a half an hour out there with by myself and mapped it out and went, man, this was really good. So all right, so but I have to warn you, this is going to be a little bit of every now and then we need a little splash of water in the face. So if you're looking for a participation trophy, today's not the day, right? And I'm all into participation trophies for kids. I think it's a really good thing, and I really do. I'm not just saying that. When we get to adults, participation trophies aren't where it's at, right? We need a little splash of water in our face every now and then. And that's kind of what this is. So, and if you hear, by the way, turn your cameras on because this is going to be a little bit of a workshop type thing, and you might want to have a little pencil and paper sitting right beside you, something like that. So, all right, thanks for turning it on. So, and Karina, why would you such a wonderful smiling face? Why would you not have that on to begin with? So, so good to see you this morning. Hey, so I want everybody, and we're not going to ask your units, right? So that's we're not gonna ask you what your volume is. And my main man, I cannot. I have thought of your name and how you got it the last couple of days ever since sheared hair. Coolest story ever. So really
Yeah.
good to see you, Mister. Is it
Cool name.
Remington? Remington is your official last name.
Yeah, Remington.
Remington. And do your friends call you Yo Rem, or do they call you Yo?
They call me Remington.
Remington. Okay, cool. All right, good to see you, brother. All right, so here's the thing.
If you're getting value from this already, go ahead and tap that like button. It helps more loan officers find content that actually makes a difference. And hey, if staying ahead of the market and learning what's really working in our industry matters to you, hit that subscribe button and ring that bell so you don't miss another episode. We read every comment, so drop your thoughts down below. We'd love to hear from you and know what's working or what you'd like us to cover next. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll catch you here next time.
I want you to get a piece of paper and I want you to write down, and we're not going to share this number, but I want you to write down how many units you close. I want you to do how many units in the last 90 days divided by 3. In other words, what's the average number of units you closed over the last 90 days? What's the average? Because if I say how many units you close per month, everybody's going to pick the highest number that they did all year round, and that's not the truth. So in this little exercise, Tanisha, we need to know the truth, right? We need to know the truth. So what's the average number of units you close? An easy way, last 90 days divided by 3. What's that number? You don't have to share it, but what's that number? But write that number down. And if that number, well, I'll get to that in a minute. All right, everybody got that number written down? Everybody got it? All right. Now what I want you to do is I don't want you to do it times 2. I want you to do it times 3. So if that number was 5, I want you to write 15. If that number is 10, I want you to write 30. If that number was 2, I want you to write 6. If that number is anything less, if your times 3 number is anything less than 5, I want you to write 5. Right? So if you go, all right, my average is 1 right now, and we all started there, right? Everybody but Sue Moody, she started at 22, right? But if your number is 1, which we all started there, times 3 would be 3, but I want you to round up to 5. So I want 5 to be the minimum number anybody's got written down. So average units times 3. It was 3, 9. It was 9, 27. Everybody got that number down? All right, the first thing we need to know is how many leads do we need to close that many units, right? Easy enough. So, and one thing we have to understand about leads is not all leads are created equal. And so I don't care how you get your leads, but you have to use the right math for how you get your leads. And I'm going to use what I have found to be, and I'm going to use the R word here, Krista. I know we're not allowed to use the R word, but I'm going to give you what I've seen to be realistic conversion rates, or probably historical conversion rates. Probably a better way of saying it, 'cause I don't like the realistic word. So historically, if we get a referred lead, there's somewhere between, they close at a rate of somewhere between 25 on a good day, 15 on a bad day. So let's just say 1 out of 6. It's not a stretch by anybody. It's probably a little bit on the conservative side. It's probably better than that. But let's say 1 out of 6. And if you get internet leads like TikTok or Facebook leads, about 1 out of 100, about 1%. Right? That's what we see across the board. If you get your leads from, say, cold traffic to like online Zoom meetings, like you send these invites and like a first time home on, like a cold traffic running Facebook ads to an online webinar, they close at about 2%. So about 1 out of 50. So depending upon how you get your leads, about 1 out of 6, 1 out of 50, or 1 out of 100. I always figure, like, if I'm going to close, if my times 3 number is 10, like 10 per month, well, that makes some difficult numbers other than referred for me. So like if it was, if it's, if I'm doing 10 and I'm doing Facebook leads, I need just this absurd amount of leads, like 1,000, which I think is a very expensive. And then I gotta clutter through that 1,000 to grab the 10, and we end up throwing the baby out with the bathwater kind of thing, because we don't know which one's real, which one's not. We don't have time. I don't know about you. I don't have the woman power, manpower to go through 1,000 leads. Maybe Quicken does. They have a different model than I do. But I have found for what we call the boutique loan officer shop, which is likely virtually 100% of us, very difficult to do that. And so the examples I'm going to give is going to be on referred leads. But if you do the TikTok or the online Zoom and the 1%, the 2%, like whatever. But for me, that's very hard to scale up, and I think it's impossible to scale up. And so let's talk about the referred leads. So let's stick with the number 6 out of 1. And so if you put, all right, my times 3 number is 10. I'm just going to stick with an easy number. I want you to do that times 6. If your number was 8, I want you to do times 6. And so just sticking with our number of 10, I want 10 closings for the month times 6. I need 60 leads. Whatever your number is. So literally write down your number. Everybody got your number of leads written down? Everybody's got that? All right, now take that divided by 30, right? Because there's 30 days. How many leads do I need per day? Right? Because if I look at like at 60 leads, and I'm used to closing 3 loans a month, and I look at that and I go, holy crap, how in the heck am I going to get 60 leads? Let's make it a little bit more bite-sizable. How many leads you need per day? Referrals. How many referrals you need per day? So using our 10 loans, 60 leads divided by 30 days, I need 2 leads a day. Well, that sounds biteable, right? That doesn't sound like, oh my God, how am I going to do that? I need 2 a day. And there's likely, most of us on this call, has been some day that we did get 2. So we just need to recreate that day every day, right? It's honestly, it's not that hard to do. All right, everybody got your number down? How many leads you need per day? And by the way, if it's 1.7, round up. Right? Because I don't know how you get a seventh of a lead. Right? So just round up. Everybody got your number down? Got your number down, Angela? Got it? All right, cool. All right, now here's the big question. What's the problem that's keeping me, or some people would say, what's the challenge, right? However you want to say it, right? What's the problem that's keeping me in the past, but not necessarily going forward? What's the problem in the past that's kept me from getting that amount of leads per day? What's the problem? And that, my friends, is the $1 million question. Literally the $1 million question. What's the problem that's keeping me from getting those? Now, somebody like, and I see our dear friend Monica on here. So Monica, I see you. Your average is much higher than what is average, right? And so, Monica, unmute yourself for a second. This would be a good example.
Good morning.
Good to see you, my friend.
You too.
I tell you, I know I've mentioned it 100 times here. I love our episode of the podcast. I can still, Frank, she tells this story. I just love this story. It's such a story. It's such an inspirational story where she's got these, as I remember it, 2 guys driving a truck, and she's working the neighborhood selling food services door to door, and the truck's always moving, and she has to keep up with the truck. And so she literally ditched the shoes that they gave her as part of her outfit or uniform and got a pair of like Nike so she could run. And she's literally running from house to house. And in her mind, she's going, I'll show those guys. I'm going to get to the end of the street before they do. And I'm going to get more sales than everybody. And I'm going to get that bonus that we get at the end of the week, I think it was, or end of the month. I get the bonus for selling the most. And that's what, Monica, where I come from, that's what we call perseverance. That's what we call burning desire, right? So if you haven't listened to that episode, you need to go listen to it. It's last 3 or 4 or 5 episodes. It's a fascinating story. Anyway, so how many leads do you need per day, Monica?
2.93.
2.93. So let's say 3, right?
Yep.
So we need 3 leads a day. All right. So for Monica, so if we're talking about 3, so we're talking about like 120 leads a month. So for Monica, that issue may be, I'm not saying it is, but it may be when we start getting in those kinds of numbers, maybe I'm already getting those amount of leads. I just can't convert them because I don't have the time. I don't have the bandwidth. I'm closing the loans I got. And so if you're already getting those amount of leads, problem is team, right? I'm getting the leads. And again, I'm not talking about, nothing wrong with Facebook leads, but I'm not talking about, I can't convert those because that's a whole nother ball game. So we're talking about referred leads. If you're getting that amount of leads and you're not able to convert those leads, it's always one of 2 things. It's either, source of leads, i.e. getting them from a flea market like I once did and horrible conversion rates, right? Or, and I've had this problem before too, I'm getting the leads in, we don't have time to work them. Like I just don't have the time because they got so many leads coming in, they're falling off the plate. And even though they're referred leads, I'm closing like 1 out of 20 instead of 1 out of 6. I just don't have the bandwidth. I don't have the time. I'm taking all the applications myself. I'm doing the follow-up myself. I'm setting up my CRM and I'm getting, which is all good stuff, but I'm doing all that stuff myself. I just don't have time. So if your problem, if you are getting those leads, that number of leads right now, your problem is team. Your problem is help 100% of the time. If you're not getting those amount of leads, which is going to be probably 98% of us on this call, there's another problem. What's the problem? And that's my question for you today. Is I'm getting I need 2 leads a day, 1 lead a day, 3 leads a day. I'm not getting, when I get that, I have my dream business. I make 3 times what I made last year, which happens, right? We see that often. They solved a problem. And you have to figure out, everybody doesn't have the same problem. What is the problem, Karina, that's keeping you in the past, not going forward, but in the past, what problem do we solve to hit those numbers? Another way of asking it is, Karina, you did it. It's a year from now. We're having the same conversation. And we say, Karina, did you hit it? Carl, I did it. Awesome. My question to you, Karina, what problem did you solve that made it happen? So it's called future casting. So like it already happened. How'd you do it? So Karina, if I could be so bold, everybody's got one. Everybody's got a problem. Everybody has a problem on this topic. So for Karina, for you, what's the problem? Unmute yourself if you can.
I think my problem is I need to focus more on the numbers. I know the numbers. I'm just not focused on them.
And what does that mean?
I think I need a little sheet hanging here on my computer that reminds me every day that before I leave this desk, I need 3 leads.
And so is the problem, and again, we all have one. We're not, this is great information.
Mm-hmm.
So is the problem you're leaving your desk before you have your 3 leads?
Yes.
All
Lack
right.
of discipline. Oh, look at that.
Lack of discipline. Boy, Karina, that's totally mine too. That's 100% mine. Yeah, it's a lack of discipline to do what I already know I need to do.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I like that.
Can I ask a question real quick for Karina?
Sure.
So Karina, is it that, or is it also, or could it possibly be, maybe we're not tracking well enough, so we're not even sure if we're getting to 3 or not at the end of the day? Like, I don't know. I don't remember. My day went by and it's over.
Well, that would be part of discipline too, I think, Frank.
Yeah, the tracking of it.
I like that.
Yeah, me too.
And, Frank, sometimes we don't want to track because it's painful to look. It's like,
Yeah.
I don't want to step on the scale because I know what it's going to say.
Yeah.
So it's easier if I just don't do it, right?
Yeah.
And so if we don't track, we can stay in our safe zone, right? And go, oh, it's the market, it's the rates, it's my neighborhood, it's those darn realtors, it's the insert in 1,000 excuses that I personally have used in the past, right? And it's not. In my case, it was just strictly the discipline. So anybody else got a problem before I start calling on people? Anybody want to volunteer? We have any victims that want to volunteer?
Somebody put one in the chat, Carl. Scott
Who?
Davis said. Scott Davis.
Hey, Scott, unmute yourself.
Good morning.
Hey, Scott, how you doing, brother?
Good. Welcome to the almost New Year, right?
Yeah. So Scott, what's the problem?
My problem is really consistency in asking for the business, and threefold: not having a qualified agent list. I'm calling agents I like and I know will answer versus qualified agents.
So how do you fix that?
Be more disciplined. Get more.
Well, you said you need a qualified list. How do you fix that?
Well, get the qualified list. I signed up.
Okay, all right. So stop.
Yeah.
All right. So, and this is just the exercise I did with myself sitting out there by the bait shack. Said, all right. So the problem is I don't have a qualified list. So I need to get the qualified list. So I said, all right, Carl, what's the first step for making that happen? So for you, Scott, what's the first step to solve that problem?
Getting the list.
Yeah, how are you going to do that though? Like what specifically, like what activity you're going to do to get that list?
Oh, gotcha. I'll put it into the loan officer AI CRM and pull my list of qualified
There
agents
you
near
go.
me.
Model match. Yeah.
All right.
Model match. Yeah.
And then when you're going to do it?
I'm working on it today, actually.
No, we're not working on it. When you're going to do it?
I will do it today.
Okay, perfect. By what time?
I will have it done by 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Perfect. Now, if you run into a roadblock and need help with that, right? Because that happens sometimes. I go, dang it, crap. How do you? What's the button? Like, what's your? Where's your first lifeline? Like, if you need help with that, what's your lifeline to making that happen? If you need, like, you can't figure it out or something, like, what's your lifeline?
My assistant, and then the amazing Zoom support team.
Perfect. That's it. That's a plan. That's how you solve the problem. That's it. Yeah, it's just that simple. And so for me, Scott, I have to, as simple as that sounds, I have to write that down. This is what I'm going to do, this is what I'm going to do, this is what I'm going to do. And I've got that on a little piece of paper. And then I go onto my calendar. I block out, I mean, honestly, it'd probably take 5 minutes, but I'd block out like an hour just to make sure. And I block out an hour, and now I've solved the number one initial problem to me doing 3x my loans and calling on a qualified list. So yeah, I like that, Scott. Good for you, man.
Well, that goes deeper into the next question: is qualified list. They're great agents. I struggle with knowing my value. Like, why am I calling them? That's really kind of my next. I don't
Okay.
want to call them with the Ford method all the time, or hey, this is Scott. I'm amazing. I answer my phone.
Hey, well, you know what, Scott? You do that enough times, you'll get your 3 times.
Right.
So one thing that we have found that has been shocking to me is that consistency out trumps talent 100 times out of 100. So I could hire some college kid that's never heard of the word mortgage before, spend literally that's not true, 20 minutes with them on here's your script, and they would outpull a seasoned loan officer that knows what to do and is not doing it.
Preconceived notions. Right.
Yeah. And so I could literally, what city do you live in, Scott?
I'm in Loudoun County, Virginia.
Perfect. Oh, I love it up there. So, so I could plop in there, get a list of qualified, and I'm not saying to do this, but I could, and I say, I'm amazing. You need to refer to me. And if I make enough phone calls today, I will 3 times that number. There's quicker ways to make it happen. But the one problem that we sometimes have is we think I have to do it perfect or way better or way good or almost perfect or much better than I currently do. And as soon as I do that, then I'll do it. And that'll have us exactly where we are today a year from today.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And so it's just that matter of just like feel the fear and do it anyway. And but in saying that, if you go into the training and look, probably the single best value that I've seen lately is the follow up refer back. And so if you're part of the membership, go look at the follow up refer back. It's a killer offer. If you're not familiar with that, schedule a call with either Jen or Kristen, and they will literally walk you through it. And that'll solve that problem. Obviously, we're looking for people to join the membership, but they'll walk you through it. You don't have to join the membership, and you'll know exactly what to say at the end of that call. All good. So
Awesome. Thanks,
so
guys.
cool. All right. Norbin, what's your problem, man? Unmute yourself.
All right, so don't mind me. I'm actually on the Peloton as I'm on doing this because I had to get my workout done today.
My man.
But, thank you. I would say the biggest holdback on my revising how I actually analyze my 2025 year was becoming the point of contact for every file that I was working with. At the point of delegating it to my loan officer, loan processor, I kept on being in between it and kept getting pulled back. And I couldn't really switch roles into working in sales, asking for the business, because I was actually doing loan processing work.
So how do you solve that problem?
Delegate and trust.
That you know what the issue with that, the roadblock is, what if something goes wrong, Norbin? Real question. What if something goes wrong? What then?
Um, so I oversee my files, and that was kind of my mindset that I needed to like not necessarily micromanage, but I needed to be in the know all the time. What happened was, and this is my own analysis, out of all the files, they probably were about two that had issues, and it would have taken me 2 minutes to get caught up. So all
Yeah.
that time that I spent being like 100% in the know for every file was time that I could have easily allocate to something else.
Yeah. And if you lose that two, you're working on to activity to get the next 10. So I tell you one thing that I've learned, Norbin, is that if I have to jump in and put out the fires, I've got the wrong firemen on my team. You know what I'm saying? Which can be painful. That can be a very painful realization. But I have learned that we have to have a first-rate team, and the only way to find that out is just to find out.
Yeah.
Like just let them do it. And if they can't do it, then I've got the wrong person. And if they can do it, awesome. Because the other thing, the one thing that my dearest Diane taught me one time, I'll never forget this lesson, probably about 18 years ago, is it's extremely disrespectful for our team to jump in and solve the problem before they've had a chance to. Because what I was telling her, I'm here to help you. What she heard me say, you're not capable, I have to do it myself, which is not what I was saying, but that's what she heard. And so I found the right people will go, hey, I got this. You go out and get more leads to make sure that we all have a job next month. And the wrong ones, thank God you're here, Norbin. I didn't know what to do. And one of those two things is going to happen. And we have to find out. You're right. I agree with you 100%. We have to find out which of those is going to happen. So then
You got to trust. You got to trust. Carl, I tell you a little quick success story. This is my second year as a loan officer. 2025 was my year as a full cycle loan officer. I actually decided to be in this career September of 2024. I signed up for your course. I really started working the business in December, but running out of breath here. And I closed one loan 2024. And I closed almost a $10 million volume in 2025, following your plan.
Awesome. Congratulations. Good
for you,
stuff.
man.
Good stuff.
And by the way, if you're listening to this on the podcast, the reason Norman's out of breath, he's on. It looks like a
Bike.
A Norda track or a stationary bicycle, and he's pedaling.
I'm on the Peloton.
He's on a Peloton, even better. He's on a Peloton. So,
hey, can I throw one thing in here for Norbin and for anyone else who's identifying with Norbin, right? Like, okay, he said delegate and trust, right? That's what he needs to do. And one of the things that I learned from Carl, that I'm sure he learned from somebody else, but was when you start that process of going, okay, I'm going to trust my team, right? It comes with, and Steve Kiles brings this up too, it comes with that first thing Monday morning meeting, get together, let's go through the files. I only want to know the ones that potentially don't have the possibility of closing on time. Let's talk about those, right? And then also, when it comes to delegating and trusting, people are still going to want to, if that's not the way it is today, people are still going to want to come to you, Norbin, because this is the habit, right? Like, there's a problem, I go to Norbin, here's the problem, right? So we have to break that habit. And so the way that Carl taught it, teaches that is like, hey, here's how we're going to do this going forward. Like, if there's a problem and you feel like you need to come to me to solve that problem, it's no problem, come to me, but I want you to come to me with what the problem is and what you think the answer is to get that problem solved. Don't come to me without you having an answer as to what you think you should do to solve that problem. Yeah. Have that prepared first, then come to me, tell me what you think your answer is, and I'll tell you you're right or wrong or help guide you from there. Because now you're teaching them and they're building trust in themselves is what's winding up happening now. You see what I mean? Now they're starting to trust themselves and trust their decision-making because they've been given the power to do that, right? And they come along much quicker. They become much more helpful, much faster if you empower them that way. Make sense? Get what I mean? So that was a big lesson I learned from you, Carl. I don't know where you learned it.
Thank you, brother.
Hi, thanks for enjoying Loan Officer Breakfast Club here on YouTube. I just wanted to drop in and remind you that if you're a newer loan officer and you're trying to get to that 2 or 3 deals a month, or if you're seasoned and you're trying to get from 50 to 60 or 60 to 80, Mortgage Marketing Animals has you covered. We've got the full gambit from start to finish, top to bottom. Everything you need is at mortgagemarketinganimals.com. There's a reason that mortgagemarketinganimals.com is the #1 mortgage coaching platform in the country. So check it out, mortgagemarketinganimals.com.
So, all right. Well, God, boy, the time just flies. I'd imagined that I had another step of this I was wanting to do, but I see we're out of time here. So, yeah, I think take an honest assessment. What's my problem? What's holding what in the past, what held me back from getting that amount of leads per day? And almost always, a huge percentage of the time, it's going to be I'm just not prospecting. And I'm waiting for that boost of courage. I know I suffered with that one for a little while. I think something else has to be right. Something else needs to be in place. And I find most of the time, virtually all the time, that's simply not true. It's just going out there and prospecting, and making sure you're prospecting to the right crowd, right? That people that either are look for people who are looking for you, as the old cliche goes, or looking for agents that are looking for a solution to help them close more of their leads, which is, any qualified agent is looking for that solution. So, yeah. So what's the problem? I think we just have to have that real brutal, honest talk with ourselves. What's my problem? And it's never the market. It's never where I'm located. It's never the rates. That's never the issue, because no matter what the rates, no matter what the market, no matter what the area, somebody's crushing it in your area with those rates. And so it's virtually always just lack of activity, and because we're waiting for the stars to align before I take that activity, or I'm just not doing it like somebody else said earlier, I'm just not doing it consistently enough. That almost always solves. If you have the leads and not the closing, you have a team issue. If you don't have the leads to amount that amount of closings, it's your prospecting. Right? It's just and it's probably not that you're prospecting wrong. It's just the lack of activity that's required to make that to happen. Right. And that's it. We see some amazing stories in here, Frank. And 100% of the time, I would say 99.999% of the time, it's just an issue of they just up their prospecting. Right. And they put something in place to help them with their prospecting. So anyway.
Good stuff, man. Great stuff, man. It's going to be a great year going forward. We've got
I think we're in for a stellar year. I
do
really,
too.
really, really believe that. I think rates are going to be attractive. I think houses are going to be more affordable. I think inflation, it seems like, has been, at least so far, has been kind of put into check. The stock market's good. People's 401ks are up. They still have a lot of equity in their home. It's a lot of good stuff going on right
Good
now.
stuff,
It's a
man.
lot of very positive stories right now, and so yeah,
Look
capitalize
at
on it.
that. Andrew had his best year in 28 years. Congratulations,
Yeah,
man.
good for you, Andrew.
Yeah, and next year is going to be great. It's just going to be great.
Yeah.
Hey, just a couple quick reminders before we get out of here. Monday the 5th is new Breakfast Club link day. Okay, so we go through this where we have a new link all the time, and it's always caused a lot of like, what the heck, where'd it go? How do I get in? Just remember, guys, breakfastclubzoom.com.
We'll always take you there.
Well, always, yeah, it'll bring it to like it's a registration / join page, right? So if you put your information in there once, when you come back, usually it'll be cookied. It'll all be there already, and you can just join at the bottom. So it's breakfastclubzoom.com. We always point that to the most recent link. So just always remember that, breakfastclubzoom.com. You can put that into your calendar reminder every single day, just so we don't lose you. Right? We don't lose you. So, yeah, I think that's about it. Yeah. So tomorrow we're going to have some fun. Wednesday, we're going to have Kevin Broughton. We're going to head into the new year. We'll be done. So Thursday and Friday next week, we'll be off. Then we'll be back at it January 5th. to
And-
rock it, baby.
And Jen, I'm leaving for Vegas this afternoon.
Oh, fun.
So if I need any bail money, I'm calling you. So
Okay. Good thing the kids didn't use it up all over the weekend.
yeah.
I
So
was just
me and
gonna
the,
say, yeah, don't call me. I spent it all
yeah. No,
on the kids.
Kristen would make fun of me. I know what she would do. So she'd.
I'll take it to the end.
Well, I would laugh first, and then I would help you.
I know you would. I know you would, Kristen. I know you
All
would.
right.
So yeah, me and the lovely Mrs. White, we're flying out this afternoon, and my daughter's joining us there tomorrow. So we're actually the main thing we're going is we're heading to the Sphere to watch The Wizard of Oz, and so
It's for
yeah,
New Year's. That'll be fun.
hey, it will be. Vegas is a great place to go for New Year's because you have all the festivities like New York, but you
Right.
got it, and it's cool, coldish, so it feels like it's supposed to in January, right? Unlike
Yeah.
Miami or Tampa, Clearwater. I mean, this is a fun place, but in the holidays, you want to feel that little bite in the air. So Vegas had but without it's freezing but cold.
About the 6 degrees. Yeah.
Yeah.
And in that Sphere, Carl, because you've been there more than once, but do they ever? You know what? I was on YouTube. I came across like there's certain things that show up on my YouTube feed, right?
Yeah.
Motorcycles, guitars, right? Science.
Chippendales.
Yeah.
I get it. Yep. Yeah.
Science. So I see, Mars rover stuff, space stuff. I don't know why it interests me. Probably because I was in the Navy. Kristen, did you know that I was in the Navy?
You
And
do
so-
tell, Frank. I hadn't heard
Yeah.
that.
So, but anyway, there's a recent video I saw. It was like this wonderful journey through Mars in 4K,
Really nice restaurant.
right? With all the
And there was
photos
two, and you-
that they've gotten from Mars. That these photos take a
Yeah.
lot to put them together,
Yeah.
especially 4K photos. They're like incredible. Do they do that in the Sphere? Have you ever? Do you get to go walking around on Mars in the Sphere?
I haven't seen that yet.
No. Huh.
I haven't seen that. I
I
haven't
think
seen
that would be
yet.
so cool. Like have cool music playing or something, and you're just on Mars. I think that'd be a trip.
I tell you, one thing I've learned in the Sphere is that when the movie's playing, you can't walk around because it's like a giant virtual reality pair of glasses.
Get disoriented.
Oh, it's majorly, you do not want to walk around when something's playing, or look down straight at your feet because it's like a virtual roller coaster where it's amazing. I think what's going to happen, I don't know what it will look like, but I think in time you'll have something like that at home. So I don't know if you'll sit in something or what that'll be like, and you're in the movie. So when you're in the thing and there's a movie playing, it's like you're watching a movie.
But you're in it.
It's so weird.
That would be cool.
It's
Well,
very
they
cool.
do that with the VR glasses right now with sports. Like you're literally sitting in the front row on the seat on a basketball game or something like
Yeah.
that, and it's a live sporting event. So,
Yeah.
anyways, all right. Well, let's get on out of here, guys. We'll be back here tomorrow, same bat channel, same bat time. And you guys have a fantastic day. Go get them. A couple days left in the year. There's still a chance, my friends. There's still a chance. All right, you guys have a great one. See you tomorrow. Adios.
Wonderful day, everybody.